Well, hello. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to install your own personal copy of Microsoft SQL Server. First thing you need to do is go find it and download it. It's easy to find. Just do a search for SQL Server, and when you do, you'll see various links. You want to get past the sponsored one and go down to where it says Microsoft SQL Server downloads. And once you get there, you will find there's several different options, but the one you want is the free specialized edition. Now you could use Express, but it doesn't have all the features that you might need in one of my courses. So I'm going to recommend that you download and install Developer. You can actually install both if you want. Click on the download button. It'll download, put it someplace where you can easily find it. I have a folder called software that I put things in. And then once it's downloaded, you'll need to go to that folder and start the install. Just as simple as that. Now, if you want to install it on a Mac, it's going to be a little bit different. You'll need to put it in a container. There are some instructions out there for how to do that. I'll talk about them at the end of the video. But I'm going to assume that most of you are going to install it on a Windows environment. And if that's the case, it really comes down to just clicking on Basic and accepting what they ask for. You can choose a different location, but I really don't see any need. And click Install. And just wait for it to work. Now what it's going to do is it's going to download the actual files. What you download at first was actually pretty small. Didn't take long to download, but that was just the piece of software that goes out to the internet and grabs the files and downloads it. So now it's downloading a little over a gigabyte of files off the internet. And then once it's downloaded, it will actually start the official real install at that point in time. So it's going pretty fast. I'm going to pause it anyway, and I'll see you back here in a second. Okay, it's all downloaded. It didn't take more than about 30 seconds more. I have a pretty good connection though, so it could take a little longer in yours, but it won't be that bad. Okay, now it's going through the actual installation. And once again, I just kind of wait for it to happen. I don't think it'll take more than about a minute and a half, but I'm going to go ahead and pause anyway, just so you don't have to sit here and watch the bar. Well, that took a little bit longer than I thought, but only maybe a couple minutes. Okay, now at this point in time, there's a few things you need to work with. So first of all, you'll want to note what the name of your SQL Server installation is. Now, if it's the first time you've installed SQL Server, then the name's going to just be localhost. And you can just put that in there and it'll connect to your instance. It will say something like MS SQL Server without a 01, but that will be, the name of it will still be localhost. There's an explanation for that, but it's not really all that important. Just a silly thing Microsoft chose. However, if you've installed it previously, this will install alongside of it. So you'll have it, both of them, the previous install and the new install, but they'll have to have a qualify on there, and the default qualifiers just add numbers. So now when I want to connect, I'll have to connect using that. But that's pretty much it. So if you haven't installed SQL Server Management Studio or Azure Data Studio, you'll want to install those. But in general, you pretty much want to close this. Now, the computer restart is required to complete your installation. I have found that to be pretty true. It's usually a good thing to do. Of course, if I do that, then the video is going to be messed up. So I'm going to ignore that warning, and I'm going to go ahead and open up SQL Server Management Studio and make a connection. Because also in my experience, it'll probably work. It just won't work as well. Let's go find out. Now, if I just use localhost here in the server name, that'll be my original installation. I have a new installation, so I need to go search for it. I'll choose Browse for More, expand the database engine, and here's the new one. Notice that it doesn't say localhost, it says MSI, but that's just the name of my computer. So if I choose that, and if I put in localhost, That's the same thing as my computer name. It's just that localhost will work on everybody's machine because it's the nickname for the anonymous nickname for all your computers. The localhost just means you're a local machine. So that's it. And if I hit connect, I should be in and I can start working with it. Hopefully you'll find that useful. One thing nice about this is that even in classes where I don't require you to install SQL Server, at the end of the course, you won't have access to my server I use for my courses. But you can install your own local copy. And as I said, it is possible to install on a Mac. If you scroll down a little further, you'll find a section here where you can install on Linux. This will work on the Mac too, or choose a Docker installation. So, so it's possible. I have done this on my Mac, and to tell you the truth, it was very easy. So if I'm not going to go through it in this video, but if you are running on a Mac and you want to use that, you can do it. Of course, you can always use something like Boot Camp and install a copy of Windows, or a virtual machine, install a copy of Windows in the virtual machine and do the installation from there. So a number of choices. Hopefully you found this useful, and thanks for watching.